What is up, guys, and welcome back to Too Much Tech. And in today's video we're going to be reviewing the Razer Wolverine Ultimate Edition. I like this controller and I don't like it at the same time. This is better and worse than a tournament edition at the same time. This controller is very polarizing, whereas the tournament edition, I was like, yeah, that's a really easy recommend. I like that one quite a bit. This one is I will buy this all day over a Scuff though, I'll say that much. Probably way better and probably will last you a ton longer. I'll say that in the beginning. So if you're looking to buy a Scuff, forget it, you're better off buying this one. Link in the description. Anyways, let's get into the design of this controller. So it looks very similar to the Elite V1 in terms of the color scheme. So you got black up top and at the front of the controller, and then toward the back of the controller you do have like those aluminum-ish dark gray looking accents as well for the housing that has the Xbox button as well as your bumpers and triggers. The D-pad is removable, so you can pull it out super easy, just use your fingernail. And then you can also swap these sticks as well. They attach by magnets. They give you extra sticks in the carrying case. One of them is dome and is like a medium height, and then you have a couple more that are the convex, and there's a shorter one and a longer one. My preference is just to use the dome on the left and the tall convex stick on the right for FPS games, and it's just more comfortable that way, so it doesn't really matter what game it is. That's just my preference for my stick layout. At the bottom of the Wolverine you have your 4-button quick control panel, is what Razer calls it on their site. Basically, this first button is going to be if you want to quickly remap your pedals like while you're playing on the fly without the need for software. So you just use this button, hold whatever button you want to remap, and press whatever face button you want to remap that button to. The second one is to swap your profiles. The third one is your quick mute switch, and the fourth button is really interesting. This is your audio control button. So you use this in combination with the D-pad. You press and hold the audio control button and you hit up or down on the D-pad to increase or decrease the master volume, and then you can increase or decrease the mix of game audio to voice chat by using that button, as well as the left or right buttons on the joystick. And it works pretty well. It's actually really cool. For the most part, this is really in practice when you have it hooked up to Xbox, not really for PC. Speaking of hooking up to Xbox or PC, this is a wired controller. It is not wireless. Microsoft pretty much does not have a ton of third-party wireless controllers. I don't even know if there are any that are considered pro controllers other than Scuff and Microsoft Elite series. So the Razer Wolverine Ultimate is a wired controller, which I don't really mind. There's no weight for a battery in here. That was one of the complaints that I had about the Razer, and it kind of made the controller, one, bulkier, and two, a bit unbalanced and not as comfortable to hold over long durations, where this is really comfortable and really lightweight to use over long durations. Even with the rumbles in here, which aren't removable, unfortunately, the controller still feels comfortable, and it does feel very premium, especially with these rubberized grips on the back that are exactly the same as the tournament edition. For your remappable buttons, you have 4 at the bottom of the controller, and then you have 2 at the top of the controller. The 2 at the top of the controller, I do like these actually a lot better than the tournament edition. Listen to the tournament edition and hear how much reverb or echo there is like inside the casing. It kind of sounds a little cheap. The performance is good if you got a headset on, you don't really mind it, but just something that I noticed. So listen to this. That's the tournament edition. Then the Ultimate edition, in my opinion, sounds a lot better. I don't know why they picked that part to be a little bit better on the quality control, but I don't know, it's weird. I still prefer the tournament edition. Reason being is for these back pedals right here. You have 4 back pedals, and the 2 up top are the easiest to access with the fingers that you would normally use to hit the pedals being your middle fingers. Those bottom 2 pedals, even though they're extruded a bit further on the controller, they're actually really hard to hit, and I would end up using like my ring finger to hit them, which to me is just uncomfortable. Usually I use my ring finger to hold my controller. So I really don't see a use for these 2 bottom pedals. I would have rather them just built this controller a little bit better and had the same 2 flat pedals as the tournament edition, as opposed to these more weird placed paddles on the Ultimate Edition. Maybe if they move them a bit more to the left and right sides and brought them a little bit closer to the outside of that back area, I think that that would be a bit more ergonomic. Unfortunately, as the way they are now, the M3 and M4 buttons that are more toward the middle of the controller are a lot more natural to reach. I say more natural to reach, not natural to reach, because I don't find these as easy to hit as I do the bigger buttons on the back of the Tournament Edition. They're not bad, you can definitely get used to them, but unfortunately the M5 and M6 buttons are not as good. The feedback is nice, the sound is nice, everything feels good, just not the placement of it, which doesn't make it really easy or natural to hit, which is kind of unfortunate. Inside the Razer Synapse software, well, let's go into it. All right, so we are in the Wolverine software. This is available for Xbox One as well as PC. In PC, you have to go to the Windows Store, and I believe the app is called Razer Wolverine for Xbox. You can download the old Razer Synapse app for Xbox on PC as well, but it will just direct you to download this one as soon as you plug in your controller and open up the app, because this one is a bit newer. In my opinion, the old one worked better and was smoother, but the new one, it's okay, it gets the job done. So you have slot 1 and slot 2, and then you can also set up additional profiles as well. When you go into the slot 1, like I said, this is kind of not really as good as the other one because it's kind of hard to get into it. So you hit info, basically it just shows you a bunch of stuff. Up here you can name your controller something different, so let's go ahead and do that. And then you can go to slot 1 or 2 or profile, hit A, hit edit, and now you can go ahead and change the button. So if you want to assign different buttons, if you want to play with the lighting effects, as you can see there's a few different lighting effects available. My personal favorite is wave. Static is cool too, and so is spectrum cycling, but I think wave and the different directions are the coolest RGB effects on this controller. Then you have this focus mode where basically I think that this will like change like your, not your thumbstick tension, but like your thumbstick sensitivity when you press and hold the focus button. And then you have an agile mode that does the opposite. Instead of slowing your sensitivity like the focus mode does, it will actually raise your sensitivity and it'll work a bit faster. And then you can either turn on and off your vibration or just change the intensity of the different vibration motors. So of course you have the vibration motors in the triggers as well as the handles. And other than that, the app is pretty good. I do prefer the old app, but it's not really supported anymore because it automatically prompts you to use the newer one. So this is kind of what you got. The thumbstick glide is better than the Tournament Edition. The thumbstick glide is super duper smooth. It looks like you have some type of anti-friction rings around the outside as well. And then I think that the actual bottom of the thumbsticks, it feels like some kind of like metal or aluminum or something like that. It's semi cold to the touch. It's not super cool, but it is it's decent, and it does glide extremely smooth. Reminds me a lot of the Elite controller. I think this did come out around the same time as the original Elite controller, so this definitely had a lot of inspiration from that one with a lot of the points, as you probably noticed. This does have trigger stops as well. It only has one setting, so it's either on or off. Off giving you the full trigger press, of course. On is like halfway, and it works pretty well. I do prefer using it on during FPS games. The RGB, really cool. You got the same RGB effects that you had on the Tournament Edition. I don't mind them at all. They're actually very cool, and that's one of the things that I love about Razer. You pick up this controller, you're like, man, this controller has RGB, like this is some next level stuff. But overall, do I like the Wolverine Ultimate Edition? I like this controller, but I don't love it. I wish that they would just come out with a 2020, or maybe in 2021 they'll just come out with one version for the Xbox Series whatever. I'm sure these are probably going to be compatible with that as well, so I would buy one of these in good faith, hoping that it's going to work with the Series X, and Series S I assume is also going to come out at some point. I'm sure they're going to work fine. Microsoft, they pretty much said that Xbox controllers are going to work into the next generation of Xbox because it's going to be more iterative from this point on. So I think we're all good, and it's safe to say that this will probably more than likely work with the next gen Xbox. I'm not sure because I don't have one because it's not out yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I'm expecting it to. Next time around, hopefully sometime soon, maybe at the end of the year or sometime next year, Razer will come out with a revision, because I know this one as well as the Tournament Edition are also a little bit older now at this point. I want to say they're about 2 or 3 years old at this point. They should come out with another one with all the same features of the Ultimate Edition and have the back buttons of the Razer PS4 controller as well as the Tournament Edition of the Wolverine controller. And pretty much, I think we got a perfect Xbox controller at that point. I did try and put control freaks on this one as well. I had the same issue that I had with the Wolverine Tournament Edition, where you basically kind of ruin the design of the thumbsticks. Like, to me, these thumbsticks are pretty slippery, and that's why I use control freaks in the first place, to give me a bit more grip. And on the Tournament Edition, they were a little short, where this, it solves the issue of the thumbsticks being kind of short. They are taller now. Unfortunately, they are still a little slippery, so you got to make sure you chill when you're gaming. Try not to sweat so hard. But yeah, I like the Wolverine Ultimate. It does have some novel features. Can you get used to the button placement on the back? Yes, it will just take some time. You may not prefer it, but you can definitely get used to it. Would I buy this over a Scuff all day? I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna last me a lot longer than that would. If you want to see a whole video on Scuff controllers, I'll leave that one link below. I reviewed a PS4 controller, but the story goes the same for PS4 or Xbox. After spending a ton of money on them, they don't really last that long. And they don't have as good build quality either. That is for sure, 100%. Alright guys, that is gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. If you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord or leave them in the comment section below. If you're interested in picking up a Wolverine controller, I will leave both the Ultimate as well as the Tournament Edition and the PS4 version, the Raiju, in the link in the description below. And yeah, if you guys want to see anything else, check out my unboxing video where I think I did a little bit more in depth. Maybe I went into the software as well. Can't remember at the moment, but check out the unboxing video anyways if you're wondering what all comes in the box of the Ultimate Edition. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will catch you in the next video.